Hey, it's Dr. Stan, known as Dr. Breakthrough, with another part of our How to Make Extra 9K to 90K in 90 days or less. You do not want to miss this episode. But real quick, I always give a disclaimer as Dr. Breakthrough. I can't provide a breakthrough. I just prescribe the breakthrough. But when people follow the breakthrough prescription, God provides it. What's a breakthrough? It's exploding through barriers that at one time seemed insurmountable. And our guest today knows something about that. As a matter of fact, let me make sure I got the right background for this gentleman here, because we're going to do this again, my friend, the extra 9K to 90K or more in 90 days or less. And this guy's an expert. As a matter of fact, he has his own company and he works with people. Phil Hudgins, man, Naughty and I love. Man, you and Cammy, the time we've been with you, and then you got a special little guest, a little house there over with water and everything. I mean, just beautiful place. And you're just one of the most kind and amazing people, you and Cammy, that Naughty and I, we enjoy being around. But thank you for joining us, founder, I think, president of Invida. But got three simple questions. And question number one, first of all, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. And I appreciate you inviting me on here. Hopefully we can do something, say something, make one little difference in somebody's life. That's what it's all about.
Wow, yes. So the question really simple. Have you ever, because again, because of summertime, a lot of times most people in business it dips, but it's been said, the best way to tell the future is to create it. Well, I say the best way to tell your finances is to create it. So have you ever been able to create an extra 9K to 90K in a 90-day period?
Yeah, I've done quite a bit more than that in a 30-day period, but the answer to the question is yes.
Yeah, so tell us about it, my friend. And I know you've done a lot more than that. I think I'm not in I, like I said, but that's the question everybody gets, and I just wanted to ask you that. But share with us a time. I'm sure you've had many times, but share a couple of those times.
Well, I think one thing that I'd like to say for people is I really teach one word,
Mm,
okay, for success. And that one word is confidence.
come on.
Confidence. Because if you can believe it, you can achieve it. And we all know it all comes from the good Lord above. So I got no
Come on.
problem admitting that, saying that, sticking by that. But too much is given, much is expected.
Yes, sir.
So how do you earn an extra 9,000 to 90,000? In my opinion, is you have to, whatever it is you do, it doesn't matter because this thing is going to be seen by a lot of people that do a lot of different things. And
Right.
it doesn't matter if they're a preacher, if they're insurance salesman, if they're mortgage, if they're finance, it doesn't matter. Okay. But I say this and I say it with conviction. What you do in the night will eventually come to the light.
Ooh,
Simply meaning you got to treat people the way you want to be treated. And when I've made the most in my heart of hearts, I deserved it the least.
wow.
Okay. The last shall be first, first shall be last. Okay. So it scripture's there. And bottom line, that confidence that I keep saying, that one word, you can't talk to people without looking them in the eye, without understanding, without it's that one of my mentors years ago taught me. He said, you can't pull up in my driveway driving a Volkswagen with a muffler dragging, trying to sell me a Mercedes. You don't believe. Okay. So whatever it is you're trying to convince people to do, you have to do it first. And that's where confidence comes in. If I'm not confident in saying to Dr. Stan, you can do this, you can do that, you can do that. The reason I'm not confident is I haven't done it.
Mm,
Okay. And people talk a good game, but the ones that do it live it. So the difference is the confidence. So when I mentor people and, you can cut this thing up and dissect it and do whatever you want to with it once you get the material and leave out anything you want left out. Okay. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings. But what I really and truly have to get people to understand in any business you go in. I don't care if it's real estate, pastors, mentoring pastors. You know, I've got my pastor, when I met him, had one church right here in Danville, Virginia. There's 22 churches now scattered all over the United States. And he and I had coffee every morning for 6 months. Okay. And for him to get out from under the conviction he was under, it wasn't going to happen in Danville, Virginia. It had to happen in 16 different states.
Wow.
And now he's got missionaries overseas. He's got all kinds of things going on. So he travels and preaches at different churches now versus just one in Danville. But how did that happen? He went from being very meek and very, how would I say it? I don't want to say unconvicted, but he got the confidence that what he was doing was right. And then when he started sharing it and truly believing it, and people could look in his eyes and feel his heart pumping, it happened.
Wow.
So that's why I keep saying confidence. Okay.
Yes.
And my biggest month, not 90 days, but my biggest month, I made $650,000. I did that for a few years. Okay.
Wait. You, for a few years on a monthly basis, $650,000.
Yeah.
See, folks, y'all see what I'm talking about? See, first of all, I'm bringing you different people from different arenas, from different backgrounds, different shades, right? And who have all, and by the way, how many different college degrees do you have?
0. They got rid of me in 12 years, keep looking at me 13.
So that's what I'm telling people again. So it's not, see, folks, it's not what you don't have that keeps you from being unhappy or unsuccessful. It's only what you think you need. And some of y'all think you need things that you don't need. You need, like what Phillip said, you need a conviction is what you need. You need some confidence. You need to find your lane, my friend, and recognize and realize that God, he doesn't give out a few people gifts and talents. He gives them to us all, and he gives each of them, every one of us, an assignment. But then you got to walk in that. But you got to understand, my friend, there's some things you're going to have to break through. So Phil, again, you've done it. You've done it many, many times and over again. Let me just pause and back up a little bit because, I mean, I've been there, and you're a super humble guy. But I like what Bruce Lee said. Bruce Lee said, if I tell you I'm no good, though, you know I'm lying, right?
Mm-hmm.
The humility is, I know it comes from God, but hey, it is what it is. But we were there and yeah, I don't know, what, 30, was it 32,000 or 33,000 square foot home? And
something like that.
yeah, we're
I
bowling.
lose count, but
we're bowling in the bowling. I like the dude got bowling lanes in his house and swim. I mean, we're just amazing things there. And then he's got his own little compound where his daughter. I mean, I think that's probably one of your biggest blessings is having your family having their own houses on your property. I mean, that was really impressive to me, man. But that's not where you started, though, right?
no, sir. No, sir.
Give them a little background so they don't.
I started 5 to 10 minutes away from where this house is in Danville, Virginia, in a little neighborhood called Glenwood. And when I was 17, I married my wife. She already had a 2-year-old daughter. I adopted the daughter. I was working in Dan River Mills, cotton factory in Danville, going to Dan River High School, graduate, get my diploma. I promised my mom I'd do it. She signed for me to get married, and raising a 2-year-old. And we lived in a house right across the street from my aunt's store, and we called it 3 rooms and a path. It was 3 rooms, a bedroom, a living room, a kitchen. The kitchen didn't have running water. It had a stove and it had a refrigerator. And I had the Johnny house was outside. Okay. So there was no bathroom inside. And I walked across the street to my aunt's store, went around the back, and there was a pump house, a well house. And I carried 2 buckets of water across the street, and that's how we had water. Wow. And we took a bath in a little bath pan and just washed off, and that was it. And so when it was cold, you had to go outside to the toilet. When it was hot, you had to go outside to the toilet. And bottom line, I can remember, Dr. Stan, coming across that street with that water and my buddies sitting on the store porch. having a drink, eating a cookie, doing whatever they were doing. And I could hear them, and I'm carrying water. And they would say, look at him. He's carrying water. Look at him. We thought he was going to be somebody. We thought he was going to be special. We thought he was going to do something with his life. Look at him. He ruined his life. And I just stopped, set the buckets down. And I didn't turn around and get mad. I didn't try to get even. I didn't try to defend it. I just looked straight up. I said, Lord, I know this ain't where you got me at permanently. I respect what I got to do. I'll do what I got to do. I'll carry water until you do something different. But I know you didn't put me here for this. There's something out there for me. Help me find it. Just show it to me, teach it to me, get me out of this situation. If it's your will, your will be done for my life. Okay. And I kept walking. And I never let those comments inside of me, because that would have devoured my confidence in what I could do. So don't ever let anybody take your dreams, take your abilities, take you down a notch or two. Now, I don't say be cocky and arrogant and know it all. No, humility, there's strength in humility. Okay. And there's strength in meekness. And it's a time to be meek. There's a time to be humble, but there's also a time to be confident in what you do. And if you exude confidence, other people will follow you in whatever field you're in. And if you're going to make 9,000 to 90,000 a month, chances are you're not going to do it by yourself, folks. I did it with a team, and that team was following me because of the confidence, because of the, not arrogance, but the confidence that I had in what was what. Okay. Now I don't care for, again, real estate, whatever. And I mentioned to you about my pastor, but bottom line, whether it's one church or 10 churches or one business or 10 business or one business with 100 people in it, it's your business. So the thing of it is, if you're going to figure out how to make that money and keep making that money, you're going to have to duplicate yourself. And you will duplicate yourself in spite of yourself. If you're a bad person, you're going to duplicate yourself bad. If you're a good person, you're going to duplicate yourself good. If you're a great person, you're going to duplicate yourself great. But in the field that I'm in, okay, and you know the field I'm in, this is not a commercial for me. I'm helping you. That's okay. I'm in the insurance world, okay?
Yes.
But there's so many people out here in what they call IMOs, independent marketing organizations, FMOs, brokerages, you name it. And what they do is they go find a bunch of people, and I hate to say it this way, but they find a bunch of people, Dr. Stan, and they teach them to do what they don't want to do, which is to go out and sell. Now, anybody can build a sales force. You can teach me to sell watermelons. You can teach me to sell peaches. You can teach me I can do that on the side of the road. You can teach me to sell cars. We can sell tangible items. But if you're selling something intangible, people can't see it, taste it, feel it, or smell it. So what you're selling is hope and opportunity. What you're selling is a dream. What you're selling is 9,000 to 90,000. And how do you do that? You do that with a breakthrough. I see it right behind your head. Okay. How do you have that breakthrough? You have to teach people what they need to know to accomplish what they want to accomplish, not what you want them to accomplish for you. Okay. So if I get enough people that I can mentor to go out and make $100,000 a month, I can make 600. That's simple. But I got to have people making money or they leave. So many people use and abuse people in a system long enough to get what they need from them and move on to the next one. That's temporary. That's temporary.
Wow.
I still got like 4 companies that I run. You know what I'm saying? So it's 4 different companies that I'm running at one time. At one time I had 9 different companies. Some of them I scaled down. Some of them I scaled up. Invida-Elite is a new company beside of Invida-FN. Invida-FN did 40 million last year.
Wow.
Invida-Elite just getting started. I think we'll do 400 million. It's a bigger, better, different model. And all I'm doing is mentoring people to mentor people. The other one, we got salespeople, we got mentors, we got leaders. But this one, we're just mentoring people to mentor people. Wow. And it's exploding. But anyway, enough about that. I don't want to do a commercial on me. That was your first question.
Yeah, so, no, but that's the 2 Timothy 2:2 model. And the things which thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. So literally, we have to be able to teach teachable people to teach others for transformation. And when you that's how you get that duplication that you've been experiencing, and that's how also you can run these different companies. But again, Phil, I like what you said also about the thing about your business. You have to find out what people are interested in. You have to help them get and reach their objectives. I posted the other day on Facebook, stop using people to build your business. The kingdom way is to use your business to build people, because once you build people, then they can not just build the business, they can build other people. And then they have this affinity to you because they recognize that you helped, that you empowered them in such a way. And that's what you've been doing. And that's what was done with you. I remember sitting down with you, having many conversations, if you talk about those early days and being mentored and so forth. And now you've been a mentor to so many and mentoring other mentors. But you've walked that path and you're empowering people. So, okay, so Phil, we're coming down to a close here. So if somebody said to you, okay, you give me some great things, what would you tell me then? So some step-by-step things as far as if I wanted to make an extra 9K, giving value to people and so forth, having confidence and whatnot. But maybe, do you want to share like what you're doing with your new Invida-Elite? If there's something, maybe somebody wants to be mentored specifically by you to go through that, or just whatever you want to share. But go ahead, man. We'd love to hear from you, bro.
Well, and I thank you for that. That's a great question. And if you could picture 4 boxes, okay, just like I'm sitting in a box that says Invida, you sitting in a box that says Dr. Stan. 4 boxes on their screen. All right. And anybody can picture this. All right. So whatever it is you're doing now, I'm doing it in insurance. This could work in real estate. It could work in anything. But I look at what we call an IMO. This is the difference. Okay. And an IMO, you can build a sales force, or you can be a top salesperson. So I could invite Dr. Stan in to Invida FN, teach him how to sell my product. You go make $9,000 in a week. Okay, it's that doable because it's insurance, and you know a little bit about it. I ain't got to go into detail, but bottom line, you can make $9,000 a week. All right, that's a salesperson. Now, what does that mean to Dr. Stan? In that box, as long as you're selling, you're making money. But if you stop, it's like having a job. If you stop and you don't work tomorrow, you don't make no money. So you have a nice life, but that's all you got. The life of a salesperson, the life of a tire builder. I used to build tires for Goodyear. Okay. That meant I had to work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week to make a living. All right. So that's a life. Now, if I teach other people to sell, I have a lifestyle. Now I can take a day off and I got 4 people that make up the difference and I still get paid. Now I can't stop working, but I got a lifestyle.
Sure.
So you figure out if you want a life, find something to sell. There's money in sales. If you can sell tangible, intangible, depends. It's money. Okay. If you build a sales force and teach them to sell, it's temporary because they're going to want to be where you're at. So it's not going to last and you're going to lose your people. So I've been through all of these avenues. Okay. Then there's the brokerage in the insurance industry. Brokers give you a higher contract. So a lot of people say, I'd rather go work for a broker because Phillip won't start me at 60% commission. Dr. Stan start me at 80. Well, the reason Dr. Stan gives you 80 is because he says, lose my number. You're supposed to know what you're doing if you work for a broker. Don't call me. We hold people's hands. We give them the tools to work with. We teach them. We get on the call and help make the calls with them. Get on the appointments with them. We do all of that stuff. Okay. So then the last box. So you got in brokerage, you can build a sales force or sales, and the other one, sales force or sales. Last one's going to get your attention. Okay. This one is a builder's concept. And a builder's concept basically says you mentor people to be builders, and now you leave a legacy. If I die tomorrow, my family's okay. And this thing's still going because I got buku mentors in place that's not going to quit. And they're mentoring under them. So if I can't mentor people to replace me, the best I'll ever have is a lifestyle. But if I want to change my roots, if I want to get people out of that neighborhood that I came out of, I got to build something that I can leave a legacy with that people can continue without me. And that's what I've done.
Wow. Wow. Folks, have you heard that? Did you hear that? You know, Phillip, you remind me of Archimedes years ago he said, if I had a lever long enough and a prop strong enough, he said I could single-handedly move the world. But now, when you tie in that with the team, with that power of leverage, matter of fact, Jim Rohn, I would travel and speak with him. He always said, what you lack in and skill, you can make it for in leverage. And so that's the power again of what you're talking about, because say everybody won't be their own CEO or CFO, but everybody, especially of what you're talking about, through systems can become a CLO, and that stands for Chief Leveraging Officer. And so that's the power. I mean, man, folks, I hope you're taking notes of what he said. And I'm going to even play this back myself because that's so powerful, Phillip, and what you laid out. And you're exactly right. And what you're teaching, I love this too. You're teaching what I call transcendent principles. So like you said, it works whether it ministry, and of course, as a kingdompreneur, I teach people when you do business God's way, it is ministry, right? Because God's power to do it. And again, not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts. So he's the one that gives us the grace, the wisdom, the knowledge, the wherewithal, the connections. And he takes our natural and adds his super on it. And so we really, those of us who are believers, we really have an unfair advantage if we tap into it and understand that. And I think that you've been leveraging that, man, and using that. But here's the thing, Phillip. So with all that, most people don't understand that, as the scripture said, a great door and effectual is open unto me, and there are many adversaries. So many people focus so much on the adversaries and the burdens and the battles and the barriers that they lose sight of this great door. You seem to have been the other one. Just like you said, when the people were laughing at you, whatever else, you seem to be the type of person like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about those barriers. I'm not going to worry about the bad. I'm not going to worry about what I got to get through, what I got to go through. I'm focused on what I'm getting to. I'm getting, and I'm going to accomplish that. And I'm doing it in the right way with integrity by helping and loving and caring about people. And man, you've been a role model, and you've lived that. And somebody said your walk talks and your talk talks. Well, actually, Mita said that. But your walk talks louder than your talk talks. Your walk speaks so loud, I can't hear a word you say. But when your word matches what you live, now it's like a double barrel. And I think that's what you've been doing. So let me close this and have you maybe speak on this. I know I've heard you say something like this before where we had you speak for a group. And you said the greatest thing that you'll have to sell, it starts with you yourself, and you kind of alluded that already, but speak to that and then whatever final thoughts you want after that.
Well, and you just said it, and I say it in a different way, but people can't hear what you're saying for watching what you do. Okay, it doesn't matter. You can talk all day long. It's just idle talk. They want to see the action, and so if you really and truly take what I would call a deep dive into what you just said, it literally says to people that come go with me. You're not going to take this walk alone.
Wow.
Okay. And if I give an example that I was given by one of the most famous people in the insurance industry of all times. Some people gonna like him, some people gonna not. It don't matter. Jesus fit the same mold, right? Some did, some didn't. It is what it is. Okay. So we're not gonna ever fix that. But the gentleman's name was Art Williams. He built A.L. Williams, one of the largest ones that's ever been built.
Just do it, Art. Just do it.
Just do it, baby. Just do it. But Art taught me a lesson. And the lesson was very, very, very simple lesson. And again, part of it was that people can't hear what you're saying for watching what you're doing. And behind that, Art says, Phillip, he said, here's what I'm going to give you an example. He said, there's a jungle right in front of us. Okay. And it's 2 miles deep. 2 miles is a pretty good walk. And it's me and you. I got one machete. Okay. And on the other side of this jungle, and we got to get through lions and tigers and bears and snakes and alligators, and we got to do all this stuff. But on the other side, everything we could ever want or need in our life is waiting for us. I'm talking anything you can dream of is over there. Here's a machete. Come on, let's go. I'm right behind you. Now, you going? No. I got to say, I got 2 machetes. I'm going to give you one. Get behind me and follow me, and we're going to go get the goal. You will follow me to success, but you won't get out in front and let me use you as a sacrifice to my success. That's important.
Wow.
So many people, I say, come go with me, not sick them, because people are not going to sick them. They're like, I'm not going to do what he's not willing to do. I'm willing to get in my car, put you in my car, and go wherever we need to go to make it happen. But until you're willing to do that, people aren't going to follow a dead, disillusioned, dead-butted person. It ain't going nowhere. They're just not.
Wow.
It's not going to happen.
Wow. Man, Phillip, you've dropped such great wisdom, such great nuggets. So if someone wants to connect with you and they say, man, I want to find out more about this. And I know, you didn't even call me. I called you, and, we haven't even talked for a while, and I didn't even know you had this going. But so you didn't say, hey, Doc, well, I want to talk for you. Will you let me plug my thing? I'm the one actually said to you, bro, hey, but if there's somebody that says, I really connected with this guy, Phillip, and I want to know more about what he's doing and potentially even be mentored by him, find out more what he's doing. How would they connect you? What's the avenue? What's the way that you'd like for that to happen?
Well, they can look up Invida-Elite. Okay, that's easy, and go to the website. And then they can actually, you have my email address and you have my phone number.
Yes, sir.
I don't care if you give it out. If somebody calls me, just tell them to do one thing. Leave a message. Dr. Stan sent me, whatever, and I'll call them back. But if they call and just click, they won't hear back from me, because I get calls every day, just like everybody else won't send me Medicare, Medicaid, this. I'm almost 70 years old. They're trying to sell me everything.
Right.
Okay. I just turned 69 in July.
Hey,
so
well, and happy belated birthday, my brotthey.
There you go. But wow. Yeah, you can put my number out there. You can put my email out there. You can put it on the thing, whatever, Invida, and I'm not hard to find.
All right. Well, I'll put that in Invida-Elite.com, right? Mm-hmm. In the information there. Check that out. If you want additional information, then you contact me and we'll get you connected with the man himself. Well, Phillip, man, again, we appreciate you, man. And I never forget we had such a great time there with you. And then you took me out back. You showed me your wife wanted this grill or something. You had built this huge
outdoor kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, just amazing, man. And so and folks, that's another reason why you want to break through, because you want to be able to, and I know you probably, hopefully you don't mind me saying it, but I know you've helped build churches. I mean, you've done some amazing things financially that before you were the one in need of the financial help, but you worked hard. You put your time in. You went through all the mentorship. You went through. I remember you were I spoke and worked with a company, and you were one of the leaders there. But you actually, my experience, you had a whole lot more integrity than the CEO and most of the folks there. But you were there doing what you could to make a difference, and that's one of the reasons why you and I have always connected. And that's one of the things I tell people. The theme is 90K, 9K to 90K, but for the high guys, 9K or more, 90K or more in 90 days or less by any means necessary, with integrity, dignity, and with service to humanity. And so again, Phillip, thank you for what you've done and are doing to make a difference in this world and being a legacy maker. Nadia and I say we aspire to inspire breakthroughs even after we've expired. And we want to ignite and reignite a passion of people for life, for love, for the Lord, and for business. And I can truly say you do that exact same thing. Thank you, Phillip. Appreciate you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you inviting me on, bud.
All righty, folks. Hey, take action. And like Art Williams said, just do it. Just do it.